Well, the Worcester Railers return to the ice tonight after 9 days off from game action as they host the Florida Everblades from the DCU Center. And it's Worcester IceCats Night as the Railers pay tribute to the Worcester Ice Cats who played here from 1994 to 2005. Hello, everybody, and welcome into this edition of our Coach's Corner. Cam McGuire here, joined with Railers General Manager and Head Coach David Cunniff. And, Cunny, you've got some stories about the Worcester Ice Cats. We'll get into that in a little bit here. But, boy, it seems like an eternity since the Railers last played a game. Just kind of tell us what the lay of the land has been like the last week or two.
Yeah, it's been tough. Early in the season it's normally like this, whether it's every league, hockey, it's, you're going up against Major League Baseball playoffs. You get the college football, NFL football. So I'm not sure how many people want home games this time of year, but always a slow start to the season. But, I think we try to use the week wisely, and we try to kind of use this as almost like a secondary training camp.
Well, it's almost like a balancing and juggling act because we've only played 3 games so far, but things are really going to ramp up here. 6 games in a 9-day stretch, and overall, starting tonight, it's 8 in the next 13. So how do you make sure that you're working on everything and make sure all the guys are getting the reps, but also kind of alluding to the future and make sure you're not wearing everyone's body out?
Yeah, we've talked about that with the group. There's 2 different types of energy. There's physical energy and mental energy. So I'm trying not to overload the guys with too much. It's hard for me at times. You want to have guys prepared, and you want to give them information. You want to teach. You want to try and help them get better. But at the same time, they can only handle so much, and they get fatigued with too much information. So it's definitely a balancing act. I try to use my experience with that and try to keep everyone moving. And, the biggest thing is communicating with the guys. I try to talk to the leadership group and see how we're making out with the practice. Are they too long? What do they want? We've been practicing in the practice rink, which is a little bit cooler at times, so they want to get moving a little bit earlier. So, I think that's the biggest thing is the communication with the players.
There's been a lot of shuffles in the Railers lineup, a lot of transactions up and down in the American Hockey League. Nick Pirog and Nick Albano are up with the Springfield Thunderbirds, and Albano made his AHL debut last night. So not only have we had some time off, but we've also had some time to kind of reevaluate the lines, the kind of who's in, who's out kind of thing. How's that been balancing all of that? Because it's been a lot of changes over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's really crazy. And I've told Jason Franzone, my assistant, we've talked about it a lot this summer, but he's like, man, you said it, but he's like, I had no idea because, from the start of the season on opening night, we've had 8 different guys, like movement. We've played 3 games. We've had some injuries, some guys that were hurt. My training camp was probably a little bit more challenging than the guys were ready for. So we had some guys go down training camp, and then they came off the IR. We had some other guys playing in the 3 games get banged up. And now, with the movement with the American League guys going up, I'm happy for them. And it was great to see Nick play his first game. And now Pirog's in tonight in Springfield, so I'm happy for him. Hopefully he can, prove his American League player and stay up there. And then that'll give guys down here an opportunity that haven't been playing. But the depth of our team, I think, is the key, and we've tried to build it that way. So we know there's going to be injuries. We know there's going to be call-ups. We have a lot of great players. I'm sure some of these guys will get called up also. So it's going to be a challenge all year long.
5 new faces in the lineup tonight. Up front, Liam Coughlin makes his Railers debut. Ross Olson also in the lineup, and then Charlie Spetz makes his professional debut, and John Fergelli on the back line as well. But Ken Appleby is going to make his Railers debut tonight, facing his former club in the Florida Everblades. And Appleby was sent down earlier this week, so he's been able to practice with the team throughout the week. How have you thought Ken's looked in between the pipes? He sure can't go unmissed. He stands pretty tall in there.
Between the I didn't see the net, so I don't know between the pipes. He fills a lot of the net, man. He's a big goalie. He's a good athlete. He's in great shape. He's very professional. I've really enjoyed him, his company and him being around. He's someone that has been around a little bit. Has some experience, so he's not afraid to ask questions, which is great. So he really fits in with our group. He challenges the guy to score because he's a really good goalie, which is going to make our shooters better. So I'm really excited to get him in net tonight, and especially against Florida, his old team. Hopefully he has something to prove.
Should be the backbone in between the pipes for the Railers. And let's talk about goal scoring here a little bit. That's a point of emphasis heading into this weekend and heading forward. You guys are actually generating tons of scoring chances, tons of shots on net. You lead the league, but finding the back of the net, what's it going to take here tonight?
Well, I think we've taken a lot of shots, but I think the goalies have seen a lot of the shots. So I think getting to the net and having some traffic, I think Ole and Liam Coughlin into the group will make a big difference, because I think when we do shoot with those guys, we'll be net front. Paul Thompson does a great job going to the front of the net. You look at the power play goal we scored with Nick Albano the first game. He was a great net front presence. So I think like any goalie, like the goalies in this league are really good, and they're going to stop the first shot if they could see it. So we need to get people to the net. We need to take away their eyes so they can't control the rebounds, so we can generate second, third chances.
And we mentioned Worcester IceCats Night here tonight. The 2019-20 season would have been the 25th anniversary, but that game canceled in March and rescheduled for this year. Terry Virtue and Sean Heafy dropping off the ceremonial for puck drop. And you've had some experience with the Worcester IceCats. We know that famous picture you have on your desk playing, I believe it was with Albany back in the day, and squared up with someone from the IceCats. But kind of tell us your recollection of the Worcester IceCats back in the day.
Yeah, they were always competitive. They did a great job. John Ferguson, who I got to know as a GM, he does a great job. He built a good, built good teams here in Worcester that were very competitive. Albany was right up the road, so we'd come play them a lot. Back then they had Reed Lowe. Tyler Willis is the guy that was my size. There weren't too many guys my size in the league, so every time we played, we pretty much fought, me and Tyler Willis, he was super tough. So, I remember just playing, in Virch, obviously he was so hard to play against. Didn't like going in the corners with Virch. He was so strong and hard to play against, like I said. So they made it challenging, that's for sure.
Well, Cunny, thanks for the time here, and best of luck tonight, and have some fun.
Thanks, Cam. Appreciate it.